So I've been applying to a lot of jobs recently, and they're telling me all these numbers, like you're going to make $40 an hour. But what does that translate to in a yearly salary? So I decided to make that a project in C++. Thanks so much for watching, guys. This will conclude today's video. Just a little brief history on how this video was created. It was definitely very sporadic. I did not know I was going to make a video, and also did not know I had a programming project in mind. But I had a phone interview earlier with a recruiter, and he was spitting all these numbers at me, like 30, 40, 50 an hour for certain positions. And I'm just thinking in my head, it would be really nice to know these numbers in advance. And I could have went on a website, and many websites have solved this problem, and I would have saved so much time. But you know what I did instead? Is I turned it into a programming problem, and not only did I do that, I made it into a more difficult problem than it needs to be. For example, I employed many different programming practices to refresh myself on C++ syntax and good programming practice within C++. As you can see, I am using the C++ coding practice, if not defined preprocessor guard. We have an overloaded mutator function for set hourly and set salary. One takes in a constant double pointer by reference, totally overkill, not necessary, and one that's const double. That might be slightly overkill. And I did this just to force myself to work in these constraints, because the program in itself is pretty easy, but I wanted to make it a little bit more difficult to employ different programming concepts to really make it something nicer. Here's my implementation file of doing all of this stuff, and I have exception catching for certain things. I have everything working within variables, so you can just change some variables and you're good to go. So for example, this program assumes that computing your hourly wage, it assumes that you're going to work 40 hours a week, 4 weeks a month, and 12 weeks a year, but you can definitely adjust that for yourself. And the great part about this program is it works. So if we run it and we press 1 for a computer salary, and I make $40 an hour, we can enter a range. So let's say I put 20. This is going to give me $20 an hour to $60 an hour, the range of the hourly. And so it computes all of the salaries. And so I have all of this great information and leverage to know exactly how much someone is paying me if they give me an hourly wage as opposed to a salary. And I did this all with programming. So I hope you are inspired to make a pointless project like I did. But you will learn and try to challenge yourself by employing different practices, like use pointers instead of regular variable types, and just work with it that way. Thanks again for watching. Peace out now.